Okay.
Go to the top up there. Or go to the bottom.
Learning the new stuff.
Oh, no, this is...
Okay.
Okay, let me find...
Oh, hello.
What a day so far.
Mm-mm.
I'm not done yet, though.
Here we go. Hi, guys. It's a Mercury retrograde.
Hello.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. And then I'm going to bring a... Chat should show up. There's a chat. Okay. It's been one of those days.
It's a day. Yes, yes. Okay.
I'll wait for them to get in here first, and then we'll go into... Whew. You're like...
Yeah, it's one of those days. Hey, guys.
I'm just going to wait till they
Canada.
show up. And we're running this a little different because I have to go into some in-depth channeling information, prediction stuff, and I need to stay focused on getting that information across. So you guys, your questions are going to have to be at the end of, towards the end of the hour and a half, 2 hours, because I want to get some information, dive into some stuff, predictions. But the thing is these are important right now because things are being revealed so fast, and I had to go back through the pile of stuff and how it relates to what's going on today and where we're going. So the biggest thing I'm going to tell you, I woke up this morning with the energy changing, the sunlight's changing, so that whole frequency is changing. There's a buildup. You can feel that it's coming. There's this energy that's coming over. You know, it's almost like we're moving as a conscience and being pushed towards a direction that we need to be pushed towards. And I could feel it. No one's sleeping. But we are still getting those downloads in the middle of the day and passing out those comatose states that we're going into. So we're kind of going over these subjects because I need to get this information out there correctly because some information's surfacing that's, I don't believe it's put out there the right way, because if you look at the things in a biblical term and what they've said about it, it's impossible. So, and I've related information about the Art of the Covenant several times, and it's in that download that we keep repeating over and over again. But the thing that's important about that is where that resides, and why it's important, and what type of person can even be near it. So that's the thing that changes. And the compartment that were where it was for a long time. So we're kind of seeing the ley lines, the pyramids, the Art of the Covenant, and it's all in this consistently in this the same paragraph that I keep going over and over and over and over. Feels like it never ends. Right. I'm like, can we get past this one prediction? So before that, I want to go into. Do you know if you could put that post up I just sent you?
Let's see.
If not,
which one? The main one? The endgame?
The one about Elon Musk. So,
let's see if we can get that in there.
Kim,
hold on, guys.
New York.
Share screen. Let's pick a screen to share. Let's see if we can get that going. There we go.
So this is on Instagram too, but I want you guys to pay attention because this is important on that post. because it's relating to today. And you guys have to understand, I don't remember all this. Spirit literally tells me, go back to this page or go back and pull this up. So and that's what they did today on this situation. I wasn't looking. I was just like, oh, okay. So on this prediction, there's several of these, and I posted one on X too. Small local banks will withstand the storm. The bank employees that work for the cabal are going down. You will see mass destruction in government facilities, people being arrested. So in the facilities, you'll see them arrested, and the corporations look for the drones around the facilities. So all this is being observed from a higher technology. Don't travel right now. Stay home or in your state. I feel air travel will be at a standstill. Why? The storm has begun. Keep your eye on Elon Musk. That's the whole focus right now. And this says the end game. So this is 2023 on this one. And I'm just saying, I wasn't focused on this. I wasn't paying attention to it. Spirit goes, go back in there and look at this. So that's what I did. So in the whole focus is Elon Musk on everything right now. So I'm just telling you, this is an Instagram. You can go to X and find it too. There's another one that we're going to go into on this. And it's just because all these downloads, and then I only reside with when they're represented with Spirit and they tell me to go back. So this is a big clue on everything with this though. So they're going to tell you your small banks are going to withstand the storm. Your bigger banks, we already know. We've talked about this. It's going to go down. So you're seeing the destruction of the government, which we're seeing. And so all those facilities and all the corporations where we're at right now, and it's being watched very closely by drones. And everything else. So higher technology. So not to travel right now would be a good thing. You don't want to be stuck in a standstill situation while the storm has begun and you're in an airport and then all of a sudden this stuff is happening. So, for me, when they say at the end, keep an eye on Elon Musk, and that's the whole thing, how this transformation's happening, and then the end game. It's titled End Game. So I'm going over these because we're coming to these check marks that we need to be paying attention to across the board on this situation. So so we're going to see what happens with this situation soon. So the travel is never going to be back the same way. You want to switch to the second one I gave you because this all came and coincided together. Boy, we can't even see that one. I don't think so. I can read it though. Okay. So do not forget what Trump signed before he left office. So this was the thing I always caught before. If you catch, so the assets, your personal items will belong to the people, us, and I've always said that. The Americans, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, they took all their money, Silicon Valley. They dismantled it overnight. Ask yourself this question. Any of the idols of Hollywood saying anything anymore because they can't. Their money has been seized overnight. And we know that's happened. We know that is, you can go back and look at the dates on this. So that's done. Everybody can feel that has happened across the board. And they're not running their mouths. They're not around. So then we go to corporations that you will no longer see in the future. They will shut down, which I've heard this week that the media has to shut their mouths. There's only certain things they can say on. So we're going into this process right here. They will shut down the media, basically CNN, Fox News, most of the media outlets. they are presenting no longer will be around when the new system comes online.
Yep.
You can't make this stuff up. Timelines are important, dates are important, and how things come together.
Oh yeah. This was also March 23, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering at the time when this is downloaded, if we're like a year behind. I'm just wondering where we should be
Well, this is
on
technically
this
2 years.
on the situation.
This is technically 2 years behind.
Okay.
But hey.
2 years
But
behind on this whole situation. But if you look at things, we are.
yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So the new system comes online, and then we will return to the real journalism again in the world and give you the true information to see it for yourself, which is the reveal is starting to come. So the whole process is, and everybody can feel it. And if anybody can't feel it right now, I don't know what to say. But there's just this huge process right now. You can't go back. You can feel that you can't go back. And we're right at the cliff of everything. And you can feel as it's ringing in. That's the whole situation. So, and this all tells you they're not in power of anything anymore, because we're at this stage. We're at this spiritual stage of things. So it's going to be interesting when all this information presents in a way of laying it out now. So, and this is going to tell you, and they're telling you, and they're saying in this, and that's just because keep your eye on Elon Musk, period. So there's going to be a shift from him. Some information is going to come from him. We've got to keep an eye on it in a different way.
Right.
So, but another one was Putin. Another one that they kept focus on was Putin too. So that was another one on this process.
Right.
So I wanted to point those out because we're in the days that you're seeing this, because this is laying out. Yeah.
Right.
Evil is stupid. It's coming.
Yeah.
And another thing that I'm telling you, and I put it on Instagram because I'm not kidding about that. The white buses and how they're going to load them up. And you see, this is another thing with Elon Musk. You're vandalizing the man's vehicles. The most richest guy in the world, and they're not understanding or comprehending what's going to happen to them. They're not. It's not in the mindset to understand, because they've gotten away with things for so long. They don't understand that. So now what's going to happen? All these people vandalizing, doing irrational things. This is going to get you on a white bus to a padded room very quick. And that's why I did the song, They're Coming to Take You Away.
Right.
Because they are going to do that. And it was always a process that in these inner cities, they're going to put them in contained areas, padded rooms or not padded rooms. They're not going to get away with this whole process of this delusion that's coming. But when they see, and you've seen these liberals act up, and then when they actually are handcuffed, they have a meltdown because it is not sinking in the repercussions for doing this process. This is the thing. We're coming to a lot of these issues that are showing. So what they're going to do with them, whether it's Walmarts, FEMA camps, whatever they're going to do to keep them safe from society, because you see how they're reacting the way that they predicted and the way Spirit predicted is going to happen. Yeah. So we're going over this stuff because it's kind of just tells you how things are going to lay out. They're expecting this, but it's not something we're in fear for, or we're just already seeing this process. This is going to happen with this. So they're going to jail over and over. and they're going to facilities and they're going to be locked up and they're going on white buses. It's just not going to happen. And
Right.
I think the Attorney General just announced that they'll be prosecuted for 25 years. They're not messing around with things. That reality is not, it's not computing. You got to understand the people that are doing this. I mean, these are well established, employed people, and they're just, it's a trigger. And here we
Right.
go back to maybe when they were young, they would have done this. This is what their grown-ups parents would have told them not to do. But it's just like a program that's coming in and then they're just reacting. What does that tell you? A lot, doesn't. There's
Yeah.
no reality in it.
No.
And the thing is, it's not going to shut him down in any possible ways. It's expected in this process. It's expected. Their reaction is expected because they're showing the same behavior they have done in the past in the situation. So now they told the line. The Attorney General said, okay, you want to play this game? This is where you're going to go. You're going to jail. And they can't take the real jails. So psych ward is probably more close to what they're going to end up going into. So, and then I'm very focused and serious on this stuff because we're down to the edge of things being done, and whether people find it me in this being cold, but this is about getting things done and moving on in our world to the golden age. We don't have time to feel sorry for them anymore. We gave them plenty of time to wake up, make the right choice. They're not there. We have to move on. And that's what we're doing. And so however that comes out, that's fine. A lot of us are ready for the next step. We're not waiting anymore. We want the golden age to ring in, and we're focused on that process. A stupid game gets stupid prizes. Yes.
That's right.
And,
yes.
And those real jail cells are not, they're going to find out what that's really like, because it's not what they think it is. There's no video games that you can play in there, and it's survival. So that's the whole situation with this. I mean, I think I saw in the news someone was putting nails anywhere that they saw Trump signs and stuff like that, and that guy's arrested already, so he's never gonna leave jail either.
Right.
So, and they're used to getting away with it. They think that it's not gonna happen anymore. Everything's going down. So with that, then I want to go into the art of the covenant. So when Spirit talked about this over and over, the thing is, and you can look up on a biblical term, there has to be a chosen person that can get near this. Like, this is the thing. It has to be on pure intentions of trueness. It is not an evil situation. You can open this and open Pandora's box, what do you want to call it, and it'll incinerate you in that way. But a certain vibration of loyalty, justice, balance, true light, that person could get near this. But if you really look at the past on the Art of the Covenant, there's no possible way that this could be at Mar-a-Lago and some newscaster could be standing next to it. I think they're showing you an example of what it looks like, but that is not the real thing. And I don't believe anybody has even been near it or knows where it's at, because how they described the Art of the Covenant is in a compartment stored away. So, because, and like they've said in this one, when they talk about this is where we have to trust, and they have no choice to convert what, they're trying to do, and don't want man's to have it. Okay. There's a lot of items they don't want man to have, what they carry and gave to Creator because man wanted it. That is why it has been hidden until it is brought to the golden city. And that is exactly what they've said about that to me over and over. is not something in a human eye can contain it or control it. So that whole process of that being that the CIA found it, bullshit. And I'll tell you why, because they're evil. They couldn't get near it. They would be incinerated. It's impossible. So in this process of what they're distracting you with and what is really going on, you need to pay attention to this situation, because it literally cannot be opened from a negative person. They'll be incinerated to that process. And they've showed me this in many times. And this is where they showed me when I asked about it, and they're like 3 compartments, when it was 3 compartments of a pyramid as it holds things up. There's compartments above that. We just think it's a straight light and that's it. Nope. And that's the whole thing. Once they look at the earth is like a puzzle. Okay. But also there are compartments of energy that are like a puzzle too. They've showed that too. So it's going to be interesting when this all comes to the front line. This is the thing. Everything's starting to come to the front line. Remember I said at the end, the truth is going to be seen. You're starting to see it. It's starting to make sense, starting to understand, and you're seeing the truth on this process. So I want to talk about these because it's important. So all this together, the Art of the Covenant, the ley lines, the pyramid, it all coincides together in this process. We're walking in that, we're stepping into it, all of it's coming. The only thing I haven't heard or literally want to hear is the sounds that's going to come through us. We're going to hear. That whole process has not stepped into this world. So that, writing our conscience into a positive light and hearing a frequency and sound of the light that has always been shown. And this is what the negative never wanted. That's how that step is connected to Creator and across the board. And that's kind of the same example of the Art of the Covenant. So maybe they're trying to show you something that you can only be near that if you're of the light.
Right.
You can't anything. And that's why I said with the negative sound, light, and frequency, that it's going to self-combust into a negative dust. They can't survive it. They can't, they hide in the dark with it. And there's just no place for them to hide within the situation no more. So that voice that we hear in our head and that calling that we have within ourselves, that's going to open up and expand a different way. And you're already feeling it, feeling,
Yeah.
and we're getting these stasis of maybe 30 minutes, but you're going through that process. So you guys are coming to a timeline in a different way. Change is coming at a fast pace, and time in that existence it's not happening the same way. And I feel like there's going to be a rush, because once this all goes over, it's floodgates. You're not going to be able to keep up. You're going to be seeing things. You're going to be like, God, is this real? Is this what timeline are? You wake up the next day, there's different stuff happening. There's futuristic stuff. You guys really have to pull yourself back, because you're going to have to take it in. And that's that path where it shows the 5D and the 3D. It's really in your own conscience, is you're going to have to hold that line in that whole situation now.
Right.
And it's, to me, with everything, is getting people prepared for the next step. Like I said, the flip, everybody gets money. It's going to be great and all that stuff. But after that, it's the next step that I want to be a part of and concerned with. It's what we have to dig our history up out of the ground that you're seeing that's happening finally. And the truth needs to be revealed. Everything that the cabal formed and built needs to be completely dismantled, along with their signature, their names, all of it combined together. Their existence needs to be obliterated, but also needs to be remembered for what they did in two different types of situations there. So it sounds confusing, but it is important. They don't get recognition, but we have to remember the children in a very holy way
Yeah.
of their sacrifice and their suffering. So these times are coming and very close. And right now, and I'm sure in this group and everybody, you're feeling it. You're feeling it in the heart. You're feeling it in the soul. You're feeling the love different. Things are changing. And so what I see is coming is some weather of rain that's going to drench the 17 cities and literally drown out the rats that's coming to a process that's going to be activated. So, and then is that going to push them? And then they're going to filter them and put them where they need to be. Yes, because they have to keep us safe for society. This is the thing I'm going to tell you that's happening. And I said the borders of the United States have to be locked down for us to change and flip this process. So we can contain our world and get things done and to bring it online. Okay, then it's secure, everything's good. And then everything can change after that. Then we help other countries and how this is going to form out. This is the thing. We're in the time and age that we were born to be in. This is where we can't sit down anymore. We have to create. So no one at this time and age is going to be sitting and doing nothing. Creation, creation, creation. Create, create, create. Give your time, because it's not going to be about money or physical problems that you are going to have anymore. All that stuff is going to come out at a time. So this is a time to be excited, a time that your soul's excited, because your soul is telling you, I feel it. I feel it inside. I feel it within us. It's our time.
Yep.
It's the
It's a
fruits.
knowing. Yeah.
It's the fruits that are coming. I mean, don't you feel it's completely changed?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's just and that's that feeling on the, in the back of us. We thought we would never get here because there was like so much heaviness, and you ask yourself how. It was guided. It was always guided from each person that
Right.
was involved in using your voice or stepping up or saying something across the board.
Right.
So I think when this happens, and this is what Spirit said, and this is where it comes. This is the big thing, guys. When it comes, it brings that energy and it makes us humble, right? It's that whole process of fear, that whole process that it's done, it's finished, because this is what Spirit said. And then that energy alone, with that lifting off our shoulders, changes the energy upon earth.
Mm-hmm.
It
Right.
shifts the whole thing, because you'll never go back to the burdens you had before. You'll never go back to the pain that you had before, because the future is in bright in where we're going. And there's opportunity, and no one's going to shut you down now. And each soul is valued in what you need to have to survive on this planet completely.
Right.
So that is where I talked about that fog. That pink fog has to do with giving a gift of an energy that's a blessing upon earth, and it gets low. And then we're all upon our knees in humbleness and shock and value and understanding. And then get to witness the change that is coming of enlightenment. But there's going to be such, with this process, forgiveness. It's just not going to be something that's going to be nourished out there. It's just going to be, hey, how can I help? What can I do? There's going to be so much stuff that you guys can contribute to. And like I said, the honor of the ones that have been in the front line with the military, as long as they've done this, what they've done, how their heart, how their soul has. And every night, I'm sure that they're thinking, how have I made it through here? How have I been so protected? How have I had such risk, but I make it through? And it has to do with completely angelics protecting us, and the presence of that and interacting with that is a different, it's all different. So I'm not coming on here tonight to have you focused on these targets that they're trying to distract you with. I'm telling you, because I'm looking at the line of these predictions and this information, and it's lining up what's coming.
Right.
And those exact words, and it's just there. So that's the whole thing, is you're really going to understand the value of your soul in yourself.
Yes, that's the big thing. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And once they see that, it changes all around. Everything changes.
And that's the thing. We all go together. Because no one's left behind. Except the NPCs, the organic systems, all that's going to dismantle. We talked about that. So, and this is the thing, as the collective of souls of light, you have to understand the abundance of that, what it brings on huge terrain of things. And I'm just saying this because these are aligning. They're aligning with you because you could feel it. Yes. It's just, everybody knows everybody's gone. All of us know. You feel it, they're gone. Yeah. It's not the same. And so I think when it comes to this line of celebration that is coming, and you feel it in a fulfillment way of celebration, that we deserve this. And then it's not just us starting and getting things, then we can take care of the other countries in this world. That's where I think the big process, Canada, the UK, Ireland, all of it, it's all aligns to this process. And when we get to that process, then it's like a light that starts in one area and then it starts to just develop around the whole planet of turning it gold. That's the whole thing. And everybody is on their knees. Everybody is just pleased with the situation, and taking your breath away, and deep inside, you look around, there is no more power for them. And like Spirit says, once they unplug, what do you have to worry about? They're not coming back online. Your corporations are not coming back. They have no access to your money. And that was the guideline that was so important to me to see that, and Trump bringing that in. So, and then the whole enslavement system being dismantled. So it's all about creating in a different way, globally. And every citizen, every child is taken care of in that way. So you see people, they're upset because, there's, what was it, human resources, they cut 275,000, or a million. I'm like, yeah, what have you done? medicated, pilled them up, it's a recycle situation. You've done nothing. You've done nothing. So all this is being completely dismantled the way it needs to be. So be careful of how they're trying to distract you on this process right now. Be careful, because they really don't want you to be paying attention to this enlightenment process that's coming. And this is the thing. They said they would take as many down as they can with them. So you hold that light, you hold the line, you hold your shield, you hold your swords, you stay focused on what needs to be accomplished. So, and I've talked to so many people, and they're like, I can't talk to anybody. I live alone. I can't talk to my family. I can't talk to anybody. It's fine. It's fine. You're at a point that your spiritual family is going to be completely saturated around you more than you realize. So it's just, you have to understand that some of us, we're never going to make it to a certain point. And we're at that point of seeing that finally and accepting it. It's not our responsibility anymore. So, this is I think one of the most important messages, because we have to work as a collective. Right now, whatever's going to happen in the next couple of days, the Trumps, the JFKs, the Elon Musks, the military, all of them. If I had to tell you to do anything right now that was very important, and you understand the power that you have, is giving them light right now. Giving them the honor of light. Taking your energy and sending light to them. Because they're about to make a big jump in what needs to happen to bring that light, so it all comes together at the right time for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you have power of doing that. And that is the one thing they don't want you to do, is use your soul for this reflection of goodness.
Right.
So yes, this process of this light frequency, this is what you can do. You feel it in your soul. It's connected to the collective. It's connected to everybody. And then you push, and this is the thing I teach in class. When you're giving light, you push your heart out to the universe, like you're giving it to them unconditionally. Unconditionally.
Yep.
So it's very important with that light, and ring a bell, because that light has to do with Creator. That's what's involved inside you, that you can be focused on and shine brighter. And then ringing that bell. It's important in that process with the whole situation. You can do this. So you can't be there physically helping them or helping them get through this, but you can send light to the situation. You can understand your soul has capability of bearing this inside you. Don't underestimate what you can do. So it's important. So within the next 3 days of this happening, give that reflection out to them and share it, and tell anybody you're upset about this. I get it, but this is the one thing you can do universally. And that's what needs to happen universally.
Right.
Because this is a universal collective of, sorry, my nose is running.
Okay.
That's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that's how I describe that we're podiums of light, and we're going to reflect that. And that's the thing. That's important right now. So tonight, looking at yourself as you're laying in bed and feeling that energy, and you're just saying and staying in the right brain going, I give my light to whoever needs it to get us in that process and to
Right.
protect them. Because our focus needs to be on that right now, because it's a heavy burden. It's a heavy thing to carry. So with that, do you want to bring up the universal line?
Sure. Let's see. Get on. Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't brought this up in a while, so I'm going to describe it again so you guys can understand. So the universal line goes through the universe that they showed me, and that is connected to Creator, which we're all connected to it. So then they show the pyramids, those strong pyramids that were all connected with energy. Now, in my fast way of drawing this, is a quantum system that is here, which shows it has a conscience, and you can't corrupt it. There's nothing they can do. It's advanced, all that stuff. And they always showed me, no one's going to get paid if it's not good on good intentions. Just like the Art of the Covenant. If it's not on good intentions, you have no access to it, nor you can be around it. It will reject it. So those pyramids, they've always showed that would be in an active mode. There's like 5 to 6 that are different pyramids that are connected to the ley lines. I'm just going over this because this is the stuff I've been showing for years. Then it shows the key plates, but I always talk about the keys. And then it goes in, it shows the 3D Earth, when it was on a 3D process, and then all the ships that are above. But then the free energy that's above us too, that's on our plane. But as it goes in between, they want to represent the moon and the sun, and then they show universal quantum system, because that quantum system is not it's just a division about money, because we as humans think that is important. It's making something that we feel that we need until we can kind of step out of that. But that has to do with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fairness system. Keeps you noble. It keeps you doing things for the right reason. That's the whole thing with this. And they showed me universal on this process. So it was always important of going through, so we can evolve as beings and interact with other beings in this process that we were naturally supposed to do. So there's not one human conscience that's ever going to get into this system. It's never going to happen. I don't have the mindset ever. Never did. So I want you to imagine when you're giving light, taking that universal line that protects you as if like it's a gold blanket around your shoulders, and feeling warm and invited from that situation, and then shining your light towards a direction that you want to reflect. So I wanted to show you that example on that process.
Thank you.
So since we're kind of going into a lot of these things right here. So everybody saw, do you want to bring the organic ship up?
Yep. Here.
I can't even tell you what we're looking at.
There you go.
Okay. On the organic ship on this, I want you to see the outline of the planet in transformation. The way it looks in the pinks above it and everything, that's about the transformation as it goes into a stasis and we change. And then these are the ships that I drew that was a organic. These are massive. They have everything that's contained upon it.
Right.
Now that what you're seeing, that energy that you probably have seen, in the last 2 weeks that it keeps appearing for things to change. I just want to give you that reference that, that was going to be that close to the planet for us to change in this process. I mean, I've heard people with so many excuses with this. When they can't make something up, they just add to it, So if that's not going to go away, it's going to reappear again. So and you might see more of them, but because our atmosphere is going through a transformation, and how to do that is our whole planet has to change. So I wanted to just show you as things Spirit pointed out today. We're just bringing back confirmation to get you to focus on what is happening with our world. And it's not only that. I mean, I can tell you that there are people being activated in councils of walking in to their capability and serving and ringing in things in this planet that needs to be rung in, and they're all a part of it. So, I mean, no one is insignificant in this process. You just got to find that path. So, and that's the thing where you're seeing these earthquakes, this whole process keeps recentering itself on this one prediction that keeps showing us over and over and over. So the keys, and starting the groundwork, they're going to be all over. Launching Inner Earth is a puzzle, and how the earth flips and turns, and that's what you're dealing with on certain volcanoes. It can be, that whole process is changing. And so I'm interested in what's going to happen with these islands that they say that might reappear, and that would trip me out in a different way. So Rubik's Cube, let me go down to this. So everything that's negative has to go off the earth, so we can raise the city, which is, I think, the Golden City, was this, and the sounding an alarm where we've been talking about in your head, in your soul, all that process has to happen. It's a frequency that's going to come in. So, I mean, and then each mountain, volcano moves into a plate of the puzzle. So where is it going? Why is it shifting? All this stuff, that's the whole thing about this. And then having the pyramids moving into the right in their position. And remember, they said a circle light above them, a circle light. And they need no interference, no opinion when this stuff happens, but just sit there and accept what you're going to see. And then I talked about that star. It's a new sign that would come in, and how it would come from space, and how it would be in the sky shimmering. So, it's just, the thing is, everything is about, where's your focus going to be now in the weeks to come? What are we going to be looking at? I mean, it's not the TV. I mean, of this process that's going on. And it's just what you feel is real. You have to sit back and hold that truth and say, I have to match all this up and not allow my mind to be programmed into the old ways at all. So we're at this process. So I'm going to take, maybe, since we're in the middle of this, I'll take like 5 questions that you can pick that are important.
Okay. Go through and find some questions. Well, this is a general one, but let's see. Vanessa's been asking this. I can show these now. Look at that. I think. Look at that. Huh? I have control.
Yes, isn't that amazing?
That's right. We send the light as a group at the end today. After first we ring the bells for the children, and then we can send some light as a group.
Yes, we can.
to that. Okay, so we'll do that
Yes,
too.
we can do that.
Wonderful. Okay, let's see.
That'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm. This goes along with the the arc. So, did you talk about the discovery of the city under Giza pyramids? What do you think will happen, if anything?
So the tech, everything's been in the ground or hidden. When it comes to technology, Antarctica, all of it. I mean, like some of these pyramids that don't even know about that are, but also you went and looked for one. Oh, how long ago was that when I did that?
Oh dear.
That other one about, I talked about the pyramids and I talked about some of them can move
Right.
and fly and lift off. There were some were,
A couple weeks ago, I think.
built here, but some were not in this process. So the technology there, the healing mechanisms that are there, the history that is there, it was always supposed to be there for us to access and leave legacy for us to see it. But they didn't. We know what happened with that. So this knowledge is going to keep being shown and utilized in a huge process in many ways. I mean, I can't get enough of truth. I can't get enough of history that's real history. And that's why I want to dive into the ground of it and find it and reveal it. And it's an addiction in a different way. So there's many continents that we have to bring everything to the surface. So Atlantis, I showed out of the water, there are these tall tower beings. And I think what's in the pyramid is the opposite way. So Atlantis, they had them outside.
Right.
They said they were tall and they had long towers. And then the pyramids were down deep in the ground of them. And then it was really weird because I saw a pyramid that I saw the layout of the stairs, how the stairs would go down. I mean, I think I walked through Roz on this, what's in this one pyramid and what's hidden there. And they had no idea. And I know exactly where it's at because I was shocked at it was in my head, the pattern of the walkway and how it moves and where it's actually at. So it's just strange. So there's hidden compartments with different items in these too. So it's going to be all revealed. And I believe that there are some magnificent crystal that are in these that could light up the world in a different way.
Awesome.
So it's going to be interesting how this lays out. And maybe this is the one thing I should probably remote view that one this week and then bring it in next week and show you what I see. So
that'd be good. Will we get another picture?
Yes, get another picture and just show that and how they how it shows itself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
so everything's for good. So yeah, that'd be fun. That one would be interesting.
Yeah, it would. Okay. Let's see. I know this has a date on it, and you don't look at dates, but have you seen the astrological prediction for the New Madrid fault to quake on June 11th? Do you see that quaking at all? Maybe. I know you don't do dates, so.
So this is a thing, like I showed you in California, there's a crack. And I keep seeing these cracks and they want to treat it like a fault line. And they show me it as a wider opening that's happening. So what they talk about these plates in a different way and how things are a Rubik's cube. So I think there's a lot of things that are going to shift, but there are these openings they keep showing me. It's not one sliding under another, it's expanding. That's the difference that I see happening with this. So, and I talked about, since we're bringing this up, California, how this is when it comes off the mountains and the mudslided areas, and how they would slide down and everything. So, California is not over. It's just at a sleeping stage right now. It'll be active again. And these areas, of Los Angeles all the way up to San Francisco, it's not going to go away at all on that process. And that's the one they show an opening off the coast there. And the water, this is the biggest thing with this, the water disappearing. They don't understand. All of a sudden, it's just sucked down somewhere, and then it comes back up. When it comes back up, it takes that coast of those houses. So they've showed me that. So it's going to react in a different way. And how Spirit's saying how areas that you didn't think would open up are going to. I think there's some areas in Africa you're going to see. I think some desert areas feels like, everything's covered up on that too. And there's going to be some stuff that's going to happen. I also think in the rainforest area too.
Okay, thank you. And you, just so people know, you have that that California drawing is on your Instagram page.
Yes.
So if people want to look at it. Wonderful. Oh, all right. This is just an interesting question. I'm sorry, I got to put it in there. Are we going to be on the new internet after the old one gets shut off? Do you think they'll let us back?
Spirit. You'd have to ask Spirit. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's up to them on the other side. I think on everything. I think things are all going to change for all of us, each individual. But yeah, might be on some land area doing it, but yeah.
Right.
I mean, if I could be in the dirt or the ice, those are the two places I'd rather be.
Right.
Seeing it, real journalism out there. And that's the thing I think it's going to change is they have to start labeling what is completely real journalism and what is a fake, process that they're doing. So that will be nice.
Ready? Let's see. Dig through these. I know somebody asked something about that plane that went down. With the bank.
Yeah, wonder.
Person.
Dirty, dirty, dirty. And you're going to see some more planes come down because everybody thinks they can escape. So, or maybe shot down, or maybe brought down, or maybe in exact target areas of nowhere it's going to hit.
Thank you. Apologies if you hear my doggie crying because she wants cookies. Let's see. Or here's one. Will a quake hit Vancouver Island, BC?
I feel some tremors and shakes, but I'm not feeling.
Okay, thank you. Now, there are some questions that someone's asking, will we need a real ID or passport? You have mentioned that in the past. No, it's not going to be needed.
No.
New York, my kitten does that too, Misty. Yes. My dog really wants her cookies right now.
The dogs are dealing with it hardly today, too.
They are. Everybody's ready for moving forward.
Yeah, they are. And I think
Um,
everybody will feel blessed in a soul way as they find out it's really not about the money, it's about humanity coming together.
mhm. Okay, here's one. Is the Liberation Day for the whole world
Yes.
that Trump mentioned? Thank you. Okay.
And I keep getting texts, and I don't know why with that whole situation keeps over and over. I don't know the celebration. It's going to be in Texas.
Right.
But also, they need to not forget there needs to be a day for the children, a different celebration. So
Right.
that is important to me.
Here's back to California. Can the extraterrestrials not help with the ground in California by frequencies, etc., or is the disaster inevitable?
You can't. There's nothing underneath it, and it was always gonna shift.
Always going to happen. Right. Okay. Thank you.
Deterioration.
And I think you've mentioned that the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That it's happening. It's not happening. How many years
And
has it
then
been?
with
People get out
Mexico,
of stuff like
almost feels like dirt's being shoved, as an earthquake starts and how it comes down from Mexico and then it cracks and goes all the way up that coast. That's the whole thing. They showed that process. So, just really close to the coast. I always said, the inland up by the mountains and the desert area, they'll be fine, but it's just right there on the water. In this process.
Right. See, someone just put monolith question mark. I'm wondering if maybe they're coming back or the ones that they had seen before. Remember all those monoliths that pop up?
Oh yeah. See,
Oh,
I when that came out, it just feels like I believe setting those are like podiums of energy, and here we go. I would be interested in how close those are to ley lines,
mm-hmm.
and how close a pyramid is going to show with that too. So you got pyramids, and then you got the ley lines like a Tesla tower, kind of in a way. And remember how Atlanta was up out of the ground? They're showing me. So it's going to be interesting what those are really for and the material that they are there for. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting when they are activated, because they're not there for nothing.
Right.
Like towers of energy. Yes. And futuristic.
Here's a good one. Gotta hold on. How bumpy is it going to get?
And I know bumpy in flipping everything is flipping everything, so if you're ready to let 3D go, you'll be fine, because you will be feeling valued of what needs to happen to get it done. And it's not going to be weeks. It's going to be, I think, 3-4 days, and that's it.
Okay, thank you.
So when she was talking about giving light and energy, as a collective of a group, it's too bad we can't really play music on here, but I wanted to get you guys to stay and the right brain. Just completely disconnect the left side. And when you feel your solar plex, and you know how you, to get things pumped and started, you push in your stomach 4 times and then you release with air. This is the first thing I need you to do. So we might as well start this. So when you push 1, 2, 3, 4, and then release the soul. So, and as that's staying in the right brain, I want you to imagine a light on your right side. And when that light is in your mind, thinking of each person or each truther or person that's on the front line, the JFKs, Junior, JFK, the Trump, the Elon Musks, the military, everybody, the patriots, and just get that image in your head and asking, you unconditionally have that person, and then pushing your heart out. You're not expecting anything, you're doing it unconditionally. And then presenting that to the light as a collective of the light together as one. And putting a gold protection around them that protects their soul and the mission that they have to complete, and hoping that grace protects them as we go through this transformation and enlightenment stages. And no ill will or bad energy will step in the path of the righteous. And as we create that light, this brings us to our knees and makes us humble, and giving our energy away and giving them something that we feel we can do for them this time. Each soul that is here is an important part of this mission. You were chosen from the light, and we will return to the light. Don't underestimate what you can do. Amen.
Thank you. Feeling that one. Whew. Good job, everybody. Wow.
Keep doing it. Keep sending it. Keep developing it. Keep protecting them. So we can go into the bell for the children as we're going into this process now. Whew. It's definitely a good energy that's changed
Yes.
today, and I feel we're all involved in it. So, like I said, and I've said it in the group, you all need to pat yourself on the back and look in the mirror and tell yourself you made it and that your soul was valued to be in here witnessing this. So it's very important. So it's going to be interesting in the next coming days. And you guys know how to contact me: Patreon, YouTube, Telegram, Instagram. So I will do the remote viewing underneath that pyramid to see what's underneath there.
Great. It'll be interesting.
It will. So
Okay. Thank you very
you
much.
guys stay in the light. Have a good night. Stay focused.
Good night,
Good night.
guys.